And what he did, he had a mystical experience, and over the years, he worked with various people who were scientists. Maybe you joined the talk of Andrea Reikibov. She has PhD. She's a teacher. She is a teacher of teachers in human design system, and works in Germany. And also, she works for International Human Design International School. And like I would like to repeat it again, she has a PhD in molecular science. So there are other scientific professionals who have worked with human design, like testing human design to see if there was a correlation between fact and fiction. I mean, fact and this mystical experience. And the teachings, that's the part that has the definition of scientifically, like established, we could say. Also, like pretty much anything that has to do with the esoteric and alternative therapies is challenged by the more traditional, like medical and psychological educations and traditions. On the other hand, it's difficult for people who are really truly committed to those modalities to be open the ideas of things like astrology, like human design, like etc. In the science world, they look for empirical facts. They want something that can be tested and proven again and again in order to establish that it's a fact, a truth. But we know throughout time there are things that even like as Einstein said, when you become aware of the theory of entanglement and unpredictability of electrons, Einstein famously called entanglement like squeaky action at a distance, like since the particles seem to be communicating faster than the speed of light. So let's come where we come with all this. What we know is that we only know now what we know. And if we were at the end of 80s and somebody said we will fly in the air in like small boxes, small tubes, whatever you say, maybe they wouldn't believe that. And we will be able to communicate instantaneously around the world, and we will fly into space and walk on the moon. Like in 80s, that would be really like, are you crazy? What are you talking about? It? And all of that would haven't be fiction, and all of that would have been something people discarded. So we live in a reality where we only trust, believe, accept what we have as fact. What has been established is fact so far. And the fiction is essentially a doorway into the possibilities that exist beyond what we know now. And it is the visionaries who had the possibility to help bring those things into being, because they hold themselves open to possibilities or what we can be, what can be. Till here, I would like to just connect what happened about the sharings, because she was talking about Ra, Ra is acting as a prophet, like he had some voices, and is he a prophet kind of questions. We cannot know, we don't know. So it was an experience, and I'm not sure about the meaning of prophet as well. Some people can have messages. and just follow it. And Ra called himself, not a prophet, called himself a messenger, and it's not a prophet. And the distinction between a prophet and a messenger, I think, what I feel is, I never met with him in person, but I listened him. I've been listening him for 9 years. I think Ra didn't care if we believe him or not. Like, he mentioned it many times. He left it to us. Like, he said, don't believe me, experiment with it, find out for yourself. There is no authority outside yourself. These are his statements. There is no authority outside yourself. And when I'm going to talk about a cult or a religion or a prophet, like I will a little bit give a little bit info about it, you're gonna see it. It doesn't sound like a cult, a religion, what he says. And so another thing this psychotherapist said, like, it's around being a cult. And then this info is free for him. It came to him as a freely from the sky, she says. And why do we pay a lot of money to learn from it? And it should be all free and all this information. And then one of the followers sent me a message, and she told that, okay, and the info came to the like all prophets, like Jesus and Muhammad, but all the religious men who are teaching this religion, they're earning money. And at the same time, they live in a material place. We need to acquire like material means for living here. And Ra had an experience. It was deeply, as he talked about it, it was really painful. When he was talking about his experience, he told us, like, it was like I was raped by an energy. It's really so much. Like, I can sense in my body what kind of pain he had, and I think it was disturbing, and at the same time very much life changing. And he started to share his about his experience, about his knowledge, and he shared his experience, like the substance of his experience, and this knowledge in exchange for the substance of money. And so we can charge money what we serve, even if it's coming from sky and it's coming from a school or a scientific school or technical school. So this is the ethical part. If this is coming from our strategy and authority, if we are going to charge, or how much we are going to charge, because we live in a material plane. And Ra had an experience, and then he had to offer to the world, and he evidently didn't choose to have to work in a job that was considered officially a job in order to be able to speak for free about this knowledge. That's not who he was actually. It's not, if you know his design, he is a manifester. So if you know his design, that's not what his design was about. Yeah, this is one part. And another thing, he didn't need anyone to believe him when he had this experience. We don't need anyone to believe us when we are serving in human design as analysts and guides. All we need is to follow our strategy and authority, our decision-making mechanism. And if we are not working from this mind, but from strategy and authority, this can be correct for us. And I can understand. It can be very confusing for people to hear about the knowledge, like to hear about a system based on a mystical experience and based on a voice. It can be sounds weird. So when I heard this system and when I started to experience human design, I was working as an engineer. I graduated from a technical university, and like my whole family, doctors and engineers. So some of them were so spiritual, but it was so weird for me. But immediately I started to experiment, and then I didn't like think about his experience and the voice, and I even like it doesn't become a subject in my life because my experiment showed me and really revealed in me and brought me satisfaction through my way. And we don't have to prove anything to anyone at the same time, but it's good to, for me, it was really good and empowering to talk about this subject.